Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chess Essentials. In this today's video, we will discuss the Indestructible Center. In the previous video, we have seen that when a chess player does not take care of his pawn center, then the pawn center will soon fall apart. And if a chess player takes measure to ensure that his pawn center remains intact, then the pawn center will become indestructible. An indestructible pawn center offers many advantages. It provides control of key central squares and also put a strong pressure in the middle of the board. And it also provides easier placement of the pieces. Let's see a game between the two grandmasters. The game starts with the c4, black play knight f6, white play d4, black play g6, white play knight c3, and black play d5. White play knight f3, black play bishop to the g7, and white play queen to the b3. Black play c6, now c captures d5, and knight captures d5, and white play bishop to the d2. Black castle here, and white play e4, black knight moves to the b6, and white play rook to the d1. Now you can see that white is already defending his pawn center. Here black can't capture the d4 pawn, because if the d4 pawn is captured by the bishop, then the white bishop moves to the h6, and now black has to give up the material. Now black play knight to the d7, and white play a4. White wants to gain more space on the queen side, and also white wants to play the move a5 and kick off the black knight. And black here play the move a5, stopping the white's pawn from coming to the a5, but it weakens the b6 square. And white play bishop to the e3. Now black is already in a desperate position, because he can't attack the white center with the pawns like e4 or c5. If black plays c5, then simply d pawn captures c5, and also this is defended by the white bishop. But if black play e4, then simply d captures e4, and here black can't capture with the bishop, because then knight capture the bishop, and after knight capture knight, the b6 knight will hang. As black can't play the moves like c5 and e5, so black decided to play the move queen to the c7, and black's plan is to play the move queen to the d6 and then queen to the b4, and hoping that white will exchange the queen. White play bishop to the e2, and black play queen to the d6. White play knight to the a2, and white stops the black plan. Here black play e6 and white castle. Black play h6, white play rook to the c1, and black play f5. As black can't play the moves c5 and e5, so black decided to play the move f5. But this move weakened the e6 square and the g6 square, and also the black king is weakened here. And white play the move knight to the c3, and black play king to the f7, and white play rook to the d1. Now f captures e4, and knight captures e4. White play queen to the b4, hoping that white will exchange the queen, but white does not exchange the queen and play the move queen to the c2. Now black play queen captures a4, and white play b3, black play queen to the a3, and now white knight moves to the h4. Black queen goes to the e7, and now knight captures g6, king captures d6, and white play the move bishop to the h5 check, and here black resign because it is mate in 3. Here if black king capture the bishop, then knight to the g3 check comes, and after king moves to the g4, then the queen to the e4 check comes, and rook block the check, and then queen capture the rook, and this is checkmate. But if black king goes to the h7, then knight to the f6 check comes, and this is double check. Black king moves to the h8, and then black king will be checkmated on the h7. So in this game you guys have seen that white got a pawn center, but black was not able to break the pawn center, because black can't play the moves like c5 and e5. But black play the move f5, and this f5 move weaken the pawn on the e6 and d6, and white takes advantage of this fact and attack on the king, because the black king was weakened, and white succeeded in attacking the black king, and black has to resign. Now let's see another game. The game starts with the e4, black play e5, white play knight f3, and black play knight f6. White play bishop to the c4, and black play bishop to the c5. White plays c3, and white's plan is to play the move d4 and gain the pawn center. Actually black should play the move knight to the f6 and put pressure on the e4 pawn, but black play the move d6, and now white played d5. And now after e captures d5 and c captures d5, white got the pawn center. Bishop moves to the b6, and white play the move knight to the c3. Black play knight to the f6, and white castle here. And now black castle. And now white is worried about the bishop to the g4 pin. And white wants to play the move h3 so that bishop to the g4 pin stop. But if white play the move h3, stopping the bishop to come into the g4, then black will destroy the white center, because black will now play the move knight captures e4. And after knight captures e4, now black will play d5, and now white's pawn center is destroyed. So in order to maintain his pawn center, white play the move bishop to the b3. Now black can't capture the pawn on the e4. Now black play bishop to the g4, pinning the white knight, and white play bishop to the e3. Now black play h6, and this is an inaccuracy because black has to play actively, and black can't afford these kinds of moves. Black should play rook to the e8, but black play the move h6, and white play queen to the d3. And white is not worried about the bishop captures f3, because after g captures f3, white's pawn center will be very solid. Now black play rook to the e8, white play knight to the d2, and black play queen to the e7. Now white play rook to the e1, black play rook to the d8, white play a3, and black play queen to the f8. Now white play f4. Now white's plan is to play the moves like h3 and g4 and pushing his pawn center, and black play bishop to the c8, white play h3, black play king to the g8, white play g4, black play knight to the e7, white play king to the h1, and black play d5, white play e5, and black knight moves to the h7, and white play f5, black play f6, and white play e6. Now you can see that white is squeezing the opponent, and white has control on the center and king side, and white will soon take control on the queen side also. Black play c6, and white play bishop to the f4, black play knight to the g8, white play knight to the a4, and white's plan is to win a pawn. Black play bishop to the a5, white play bishop to the c2, and black play queen to the e7, white play queen to the g3, black play b5, and white knight moves to the c5, black play bishop to the c6, and white play b4, black play knight to the f8, and white play a4, and black play a5. Now white play knight to the b3, b captures a4, and knight captures a5, bishop captures c5, and knight captures c6. Here black queen is under attack, and only square available for queen is b7. And if black play the move queen to the b7, then the knight will capture the d8 rook, and then further attack on the black queen. And after rook capture the knight, then white will capture the bishop. But in the game, black capture on d4, and white capture the queen, and black resign. So in these two games, you guys have seen that an indestructible pawn center offers many advantages. It put constant pressure in the middle of the board, and also it squeezed the opponent. Hopefully you have understand this concept. So this is all about today's video. Inshallah we will meet again in our next video. Thank you.